1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us are here, plus one guest, and we are still missing 3 people, which is Hunza, Etienne, and who else is missing? No, right. Thank you for providing the minutes, by the way. So I would still wait a few more minutes. Cassandra could join, and also Map would be here, but a little bit later.
Sure.
Hi, Anush. We are still waiting for some people to join, so we can start properly. I see Alessandro, I see Map. I think we are all, aren't we? So let's start then. Hello, everybody. I'm officially starting the meeting, the 16th meeting of the 7th board. And if you don't mind, I'm going to chair it. I suggest we do the minutes for the meeting, or secretary for the meeting, in a collective way as we do usually. And the recording is on the Pirates on the air. I guess we have some guests, which, if I'm not mistaken, all of them were already present. Maybe Guido, could you shortly introduce yourself to the board members as the board rules require?
Yeah, hello, Guido Körber from the German Pirate Party. I'm the spokesperson for energy policy with the German Pirate Party.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So we might go to preparations for the agenda. There is actually some agenda prepared on the line 41. That was mostly elaborated by MAP. So maybe may I ask you for like a short explanation on that? How is that actually intended? So we shall go through those like respective points as they are written here, or is it just like agenda that's proposed for the council meeting?
No, the agenda here is for the meeting. Hold on, I'm still trying to get up the pad because I just came to my hotel here in Slovenia and I'm still only connected through the phone because I need to put in Wi-Fi and so on. So I will be able to answer more in detail when I have the pad up. But the agenda I've prepared is for this meeting. with questions that the board might want to discuss on every single topic on that agenda. Sorry, did everything go quiet, or were you waiting for me to say more?
Probably seems to be. I had some troubles. So once again, there is a proposal for the agenda on the line 42. So if you are there any like proposals to alternate this draft proposal that you see there, or we might vote on that? Because if there are no proposal, please vote on the agenda on the lines 76, and meanwhile you can also vote on the approval of agenda of the minutes from the last meeting on the line 83. So it seems we have at least majority of the board in favor of the proposed agenda. So we might proceed to the first point, as we have a lot of points in front of us, which is the council meeting agenda. And first, we are talking about the proposals coming from the board. So, what is actually on the table? What we might propose to the members? Bastian? You may speak. And we can't hear you because there is probably something wrong with your microphone, or maybe with mine, I don't know. Okay, that failed. When it comes to the proposals from the board, what I think we will probably need to propose for the member parties is some sort of like acknowledging of the late nominations, because we are clearly coming to the point that some parties will not deliver the nominations on time. So I guess we should have a motion that would actually acknowledge the nominations that are coming late. Map, please.
I think you don't need to have that as a separate point on the agenda, but that you can suggest that under the elections. The statute says that if you can't elect someone from the people nominated on time, the meeting can decide to open for new nominations. So that is something that is in the statutes allowing for new nominations if you failed to elect someone.
Okay, that's very reasonable, and we should do so. Okay, then maybe Map, if I may ask you, we should have send a reminder to our members that they should certainly nominate people for the board, because we are still lacking a lot of nominations, as well as for the Code of Conduct Council and the auditors, which are later on debated. Bastian, please. Still a bit struggling to hear you. Okay. Map,
Okay,
please.
next try. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better.
Fine. It's always a browser problem. First of all, just a remark. If you look into our wiki, there is the council meeting on the 16th of April, right? And so the date for delivery, the nominations is not the 15th, just today, it's the 16th. I have to have a look into the Luxembourgish civil legal book, because in Germany it's so that even you can do it until Monday, because we have a meeting on a weekend, and then you longer the term. So I have to have a look into the Luxembourgish legal things, so we can. I can give you a hint tomorrow. I didn't expect that there's a trouble about that, but normally it's the 16th, not the 15th, so one day longer. And we should expect nominations, hopefully. Otherwise, the map is on the right way. We can accept nominations even on the council meeting if we have no. Thank you.
Precisely. Okay, so that makes sense. Map, anything more to be added?
Yes. At the end of the day, the council will have to decide what 1 month before mean. If everyone is okay with the 16th, I don't think that will be a problem. So I just used, when I drafted your invitation, I used the logic that is normally prevailing in Sweden, which means it's the day before, a month before, or the starting moment. But I mean, whatever you're happy with, I don't think anyone will fight over 1 day for nominations. What you might want to add to the agenda. So what I wrote here is you have the statute proposals that was supposed to, that you discussed at the last meeting. I have a link to those. At that meeting, there were some concerns about the phrasing, but I don't remember those concerns, but they might be in the minutes from the last meeting. I don't know if anyone on the board has looked at that to see if you want to change your proposal. You can still put forward the same proposal and then open to counter proposals during the meeting, so it's not a problem. But if you want to change that proposal, now is the time, because that also have the 1 month deadline, because it's a statute change.
True. That's very true, because that's something we wanted to discuss last time, and we had not sufficient majority to approve it. So that's the proposal for statute change to allow ordinary non-pirate parties to be admitted as ordinary members, if you remember.
Yes, and you decided at the last meeting to postpone it to the next meeting, so that sort of have to be on the agenda, I think, because there's a council decision that it should be addressed at this meeting. But what you can, of course, do is change the proposal from the board if you want to change it. But if you haven't had a look at it before now, then I think the best thing you can do is table the exact same text and then let the member parties suggest changes.
I see the point. Cedric and then Bastian.
Yes. So far, the weekend of the council meetings starts on the 15th. If not, I think that the French people would be glad to know, because it will be maybe less people on the Saturday and on the Sunday, because it's not all the way to the council meetings if it's not on the Saturday. So
Can I quickly answer that to save you some time?
yeah, but yes.
So the agreement by the board previous is that the Saturday will be a conference on the Common European Election Programme, but that will not be part of the formal council meeting. The council meeting is defined in the statutes exactly what has to be discussed and how. So the Saturday is the Common European Election Programme workshop, and the Sunday is the council meeting. So there's activities both days, but it's only one of them that is a formal council meeting.
Precisely.
According to the decisions taken by this board previously.
Okay, I guess that's clear. Bastian, please. Okay, so that was probably forgotten hand. So just for the minutes, may I ask you to, or I guess the proposal coming from the last council meeting shall stay on the agenda, but we may, as the board, should probably reiterate that in an email that it stays on the agenda, so it is clear. Is it so, Bastian? We really struggle to hear you. Okay. Map?
Yes. So you decided that when you decided the agenda to have a point on CEP presentation, timeline, flow, progress, and it would be useful if there's a decision there to have that proposal sent before the meeting, but also in the agenda clarify if this is a decision point on the agenda or an information point, because that will help the members to prepare for it. Is this something that they have to decide on, or is this purely information?
Yeah, if I'm not muted, you can understand me, I think. Yeah, it's important that we handle that motion because we need it. Maybe you remember that we try to get some progress with the European Parliament, parliamentary organization. So we need the typical 7 parties and 7 countries. So we needed that we can accept members who are not exactly pirate parties. So I recommend that we put that a motion again on the agenda. I think that the trouble was that nobody knows about that the impact of that motion. So yeah, it's a good idea to postpone it, and maybe it's a good idea to inform our members what we want with that motion. Yeah, sometimes you have to explain some things, and it makes it better prior to the meeting, to the council meeting, than on the council meeting. That's maybe, yeah, it's a pity, but I think we should use the opportunity to explain our members what we want with that motion. Thank you. Did I shut you down, or what's happened now?
Oh no, there was again some problem with my mic. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to reiterate the motion regarding the change of status, and also provide an explanation. So we might send out an email to do so. So I would consider that as a thing we should do. Plus, probably the explanatory point on the CEP makes sense as well, or probably. But still, regarding the CEP, we might speak. We might propose motions even like during the next board meeting in 2 weeks, don't we? Map.
Yes, a procedural thing. I noticed that there don't seem to be someone taking notes at this meeting. I would offer to do it, but I'm only with my tiny keyboard. I don't have my normal equipment when I'm traveling. But I think you might have difficulties remembering everything that's being said if you don't write things down. That's a procedural thing. On content-wise, you might also want to propose a budget, because that's supposed to be proposed by the board at this meeting. And I don't think it's currently on the agenda. So that is something you might want to add to the as a proposal from the board, a budget for this year.
That's very much true. We should have a proposal for the budget. Cedric.
Yes. Cedric first. Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you. It was strange. Yes. So about the budget, at the last meeting, I asked for something. Still no invoice in my hands. So sorry, I can't propose anything. I don't know how we spent our money and so on. So in my point of view, sorry, I can't work.
Okay, that's a bit troublesome, and that's something we should definitely catch up on. Bastian?
Yeah, it's my duty to, as a current active treasurer, to provide a budget. I will provide a budget. It's not the board. The council meeting is not tomorrow. Maybe I remember you. It's next month. So I will work on the budget. I calculated two versions of the budget because we have very, very important elections in Europe. So we have to decide maybe with about that two proposals of me, and that's will do the board, not the council. The council will decide on the proposal of the board later on. So you get a notice. But I'm waiting of the team who will do the financial audit in Potsdam. So maybe Cedric can tell me when he wants to visit Potsdam, to go to our office computer, to go to our transparent bank account to see whether the transparent bank account is the same in Potsdam as in France. So we are waiting about that this very important financial audit, and that's but it's not necessary to provide a budget. Thank you.
If I may, let's not dive into the discussion again. We had it in the last board meeting, and I think the only conclusion was that what is actually needed is to push one single invoice into Wikipedia, and then everyone is happy. Am I wrong?
Well, I said that I will do the two invoices into the wiki, but it makes more sense that we have the whole transactions in the wiki. So I'm working for that. It's on my timetable for the weekend. Then we have a financial wiki like we have in the PPI. I invented that financial wiki. You can have a look to PPI wiki. So it's very, very nice that you have every transaction on the wiki. So you can see. And in addition to our transfers of money 2 transfers in a year. I will add the invoices so everybody can see the invoices, whether it's fraud or not, so that everybody can control that. Thank you.
Yes, please. Yes, please. So I hope, Cedric, we might find this as satisfactory, and we might do a check on that issue in like 2 weeks in the next board meeting. Is it fine for you?
In fact, there is a lot of things that I don't understand in the way of handle things because I don't know why I need to go to Potsdam to see the invoices. Really, I don't understand. But that was not my point about my hand raising. In fact, we are speaking today about delay for the nomination, delay for the motions, and tonight somebody says we have time to put the budget, to have some proposal about the budget. I don't understand why this is not yet available, because yes, it's another motion like any another motion, and with that, nobody will be in the position to discuss the budget. And at the end, yes, it's a board proposal, as you wish. You said at the previous meeting that, in fact, other members can propose an alternate budget. And I don't understand that we can't propose one right now. And why? Oh, I lost my words about that. But yeah, I don't understand why we can't do it right now, in fact. Because if we have one invoice, this is maybe the budget, or yes, I remember my point, is yes, it's a board proposal, but it's not this board that will be urging to agree to this budget. So all nominate people needs to know right now how to handle the future of the PPEU. So yes, we need it right now, not at 2 days before the council meeting.
I understand your question, Cedric, but what should be reminded is we have quite a lot of points on the agenda for this meeting, and we should go through them today. So I suggest we do not dive into or derail the discussion that much. So yes, we should have a proposal for budget. I suggest that we call a meeting for the budget and bring the proposal for the budget to the next board meeting to have it like approved for the council or prepared. But I don't think we should start here writing from the scratch the budget here on site. This is not really like an effective solution. But I mean, like, and now directly maybe, Cedric, if you feel that there is some need for more proposals or that more proposals for budget shall be brought for the next meeting, then please do. But I mean, like, writing that here and now from the scratch, I mean, like, we would end up in the midnight. Bastian?
Yeah, short reply. The only budgets you ever received had been the budgets I proposed. I proposed for the board. Council meetings. We got some from Alessandro. That's not a budget. That's a text. So you can be sure that you get in time a budget. There's no. Deadline for a budget, but I said it's this council meeting is in a month, and I'm quite upset that you demanded that we have to provide a budget now. That's impossible. You want to trolling us, and please let it. We are 9:30, so we can use our time for better things, not for wasting. Thank you.
Yeah, just to answer that, yeah, time-wise, we will have one more board meeting before that actual council meeting happens, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the, or am I wrong? Or actually 2. So we should have a budget proposal rather on the next board meeting on 29th of March, and it would be great, Cedric, if you feel that we need to have a proposal, or we need more proposals to choose, then you bring also something that works, at least from your perspective. I would not go for writing it here and now, because this is not really effective, especially when there are 15 people here in the room. Yeah, definitely we should not do it ASAP at the last point, but definitely we should prepare it for the next board meeting and have really like Excel sheet with lines and numbers and so on, so that we are able to discuss it as the board. Sorry, I'm omitting Map's hand, so please speak.
Thank you. So what you do need to decide today is to add it to the agenda, because that needs to be decided today. That is why I put it here or brought it up. Today you need to decide to add it to the agenda, because currently it's not on the agenda for the meeting, while the statute says it should be on that meeting. The statute says that 2 weeks before the annual council meeting, the accounts and budget shall be communicated to the members of the council. It should also be decided by the board before being sent out. So it's a board proposal. So you need to have a board meeting where you decide on the budget. You also, when I read Article 21, you need to adopt the annual accounts for the past financial year. That also needs to be submitted and on the agenda and approved by the members. And then you need discharge of the previous board also to be on the agenda. I have put that in the minutes online 103, 104, 105 as things that you need to add to the agenda to fulfill Article 21 of the statutes. And then it's of course up to you if you want to add it. I still want to point out that you don't have someone who seemed to be in charge of the minutes.
Map, could you please take the minutes? So
no, sorry, I said before, I can try to help. I write a little here and there, but since I'm in Slovenia with a tiny keyboard, I'm not really able to write down everything that people say, like the way you normally take minutes. So decisions I can try to look into and make sure that they get right. But if you want detailed minutes, I'm not prepared, unfortunately, because I'm not in my office or in my home. I'm in a hotel room in Slovenia.
So we might be fine with just the decisions as they are. Just we need to have recorded decisions. We probably cannot make the all the replies. We have still the recording for the pirates on the air, so I believe that will be sufficient. What I concluded from that is that we certainly need on 29th of March, when there will be the next board meeting, we need to have proposal for the budget that will be we will approve it at that board meeting and send it to the council to keep that deadline we need. Is it so? And now Bastian, please.
Yeah, thank you. I thank MAP for these proposals to add some points to our agenda. I will go over that agenda on the wiki. So yes, it's very important. Thank you for reminding us. It's very important that we have this both things on the agenda, budget and discharging the board, of course, and so on and so on. So I will have to look on the weekend on that agenda, and I will add some things. And if not, it's a wiki. You can correct it if I'm wrong. So, but I think it's a good idea that you remind us, Map. So don't worry about it. I have it in focus, and yes, we have to provide a budget. Of course, we do that. It's a duty, and we will decide it on the next board meeting, and the board will get a proposal for that prior to the board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and thank you for taking it seriously, because it's really, really, literally the last opportunity to do so. Otherwise, we are going against the rules. And thank you for keeping an eye on the finances of the PPEU. Okay, so as the decision, can we also note into the minutes that actually the budget discussion will be added to the agenda of the council meeting, so that it comes as a proposal from the board to include it into the agenda? Okay, I see it's there. I hope there are no objections. Because if so, I think we are fine with the first point of our agenda, which is wonderful. And we may go to the second point, which are proposals from the member parties. It should be hopefully easier. Are there any proposals we should take a note of?
There wasn't any in the inbox when I checked earlier today. I haven't seen anything come in.
The same is my impression. So from that point of view, I would consider this point on the agenda to be fulfilled, because we have nothing to talk about. The last another point is are the membership fees. There I would probably give a word to Bastian again to actually inform us what is the state of play of the invoices plus of the payments, if you follow on that.
I should unmute myself. So yes, of course, I have it on my agenda. It's very important that we have to be in contact with our members. But first of all, I sent out the membership fees invoices, which should be important for the members. That's not a duty. That's it's. I know the administration of other parties, so they need a invoice, but we have clear. We have a clear statutes and we have clear decisions about the fees, and it's very easy because we have only a few fees. But I will provide also a proposal for the future membership fees. I'm not sure that our members will be happy with that, but yeah, to be serious, 50 euros a month, no, not a month, would be a good idea. A year is nothing. It's a way to kill the PPU. So I think if we want to have a living PPU, we need more money. We had to be flexible in the future. And please remember, we have this elections for the European Parliament. And I have the idea that we can support that elections. I have an idea how we can manage that. I have a plan for that. So you get some proposals, even for the membership fees. Yeah, that's a duty I will fulfill for the next board meeting. So please let me give me the time to send you all my proposals. It's not a must that you have to agree with my proposals. Is my thinking of politics in the PPU. It's my proposal, and of course, I got some replies to the invoices and to clear up some things. So I will do that. I'm waiting for the last 3 months. Two party members paid their fees already. So I think we are in contact with the party members. So I will report it on the next board meeting.
Perfect. Two things. If I understand correctly, the membership fee for 2023 is already given by the fact that we have not changed the membership fee since 2022.
Yes, we
So-
our invoices are 2022 because we had no decision for 2023, and I think we should decide it on the next council meeting, and then we have a clearance for that 2023 membership fees. But that's if we do our invoices for the past. That's that's our decision.
I see. Well, I still think we can't really like we should have ideally ensured that at the beginning of the council meeting the membership fees for 2023 are paid. I think those are our rules according to statutes.
No, you are wrong. Sorry, maybe, Mikros, you are wrong. They have to pay the fees for 2022 until, right? And I have of course, I have a calculation who did their obligations or not, and I will provide that table for the next board meeting, so you can see who paid or who doesn't pay. And I'm afraid the membership fees or a lot of memberships are open, and only a few party members paid their fees. So we have to remind it. Maybe it's a good idea in the board meeting to call out that the members have to pay their fees. Maybe we receive until the council meeting the fees for 2022 and past. And the past. There are a lot of parties who didn't pay their fees several years. And we have one party, which it's a pity, I won't name it. I won't name the party, which not paying the fees for years and are very exhausted because they didn't know that they have to pay fees for the PPU. So that's not the way we have to deal with it.
That's not good. That's not good. Okay, I was not aware of this feature. Apparently, I'm mixing some rules, and I should read the statutes once again. Map, please.
Yes, the only thing I think you need to do right now is to decide that you should add decision on the 2023 membership fee to the agenda for the meeting, because that has to be decided at the meeting.
You are right. No objection to that, but it's an extra point of the agenda, right?
Yes, a separate point on the agenda for the council meeting, decision on membership fee.
I think we can consider that to be part of the budget discussion, couldn't we?
Yeah, it's a good idea to have the proposal for the budget, and we have the discussion about the membership fees after that. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yep.
So I think there's two different decisions, one on membership fee and one on budget, but of course the discussions can be combined.
Yeah, of course.
I would combine that because they are effectively each other.
Mikuláš, map is right. It's two different decisions, but we can combine it in a discussion.
Exactly. That was my intention.
Fine. Sorry that I interrupt you.
Okay. So I guess we are fine at that point. So we can go to the next point on the agenda, which are elections of the board. There is a question whether we have enough proposals for all positions in the board, and if not, how would we deal with that? Well, so far we have not. So we are waiting for the late nominations as usual, but as it was already debated at the beginning of this meeting, I think we can, or the council can actually admit the late nominations even on the side. So this shouldn't be a problem. What we might do is we might remind to our members that they should actually nominate people. So we should send an email to inviting them to do so. Could we make it so? France will nominate 8 people so far. That's a lot. Well, worst case scenario, France, the next board will be composed of French. Not all French. Good. That will be a little bit geographically unbalanced. Map, please.
Yes, so I noticed that in the evening we've got German and Czech nominations submitted actually during this meeting. So they're coming in nominations now. I think one thing the board could decide here is to interpret the deadline for nominations to be by midnight tomorrow. And then basically you can put all nominations that are in on time on the wiki, and then you can have a separate category, and then you can urge people to do late nominations, and then we also put those on the wiki as soon as they arrive. And then at the beginning of the meeting, you will have to have a decision. At the beginning of the elections during the meeting, you'll have to decision to also allow those nominations to be considered. I think that's the best way to basically encourage people to be on time for the future, but not blocking people who weren't on time.
Yeah, that's very reasonable. So I might have some problems with delivering of the nominations into my mailbox, but if the others have spotted them, then I think we should consider them to be delivered. Is there actually any opposition to that idea that boards consider the midnight tomorrow to be the deadline for providing the nominations? Plus, of course, reminding that all the nominations that will be delivered later are subject to the decision of council whether they will be considered valid. Seems there is no opposition, so we would communicate it that way to the council. And we might go to the next point on the agenda, which is elections of the Code of Conduct Council. I'm afraid the situation is very same as for the board, isn't it?
Here I haven't seen anything.
Okay, one nomination from France, that's very good. Okay. So anyway, we shall record the nominations to the wiki and remind the Code of Conduct Council in the same or like apply the same procedure as for the board. And there is as the next point on the agenda elections of lay auditors, which I would like to ask who brought that idea and with why, because if I'm not mistaken, lay auditors are not really mentioned in the context of PPEU. Map, please.
Yes, I did that because the statutes ask us to have lay auditors. Under Article 23, it says that we have to have auditors, and then it says that until Article 23(1) is met, basically with being proper recognized, we shall elect one or more lay auditors. And that Article 23(2) and 3 applies to that. So we need a lay auditor. A lay auditor is anyone who volunteers to do a lay audit of the organization, basically look over the accounts on behalf of the members and say whether it all looks fine after the boards have presented them. And they're supposed to be elected. I don't think we've ever elected one, so it's something that we have failed to do since the beginning of time. But that's not a reason to continue to say, oh, we had it in the past. I didn't know that. I haven't been to all council meetings, but we're supposed to have one, and I don't think we have one right now. Am I correct on that?
You are very correct on that so far, I know. I'm actually a bit surprised. I should have the statutes read fully once again, because I, under this day, lived in under the impression that actually auditors are something which is specified in PPI statutes, but was never mentioned in the PPEU statutes, but apparently it's there. So thanks very much for spotting. And yes, we should put it on the list of things that or people that could be elected. So, and remind to our members that there is this wonderful opportunity to get elected as a lay auditor. And by the way, then we should include the election of lay auditors to be point on the agenda for the Common Council, because I think we have not specified that as a specific point for the council meeting. Regarding the minutes, is there any objection? Should we record it as election of lay auditors is added to the agenda of the meeting, so that this is a decision of the board?
Well, it's a good idea to have it because every board is happy that discharge after the council meeting. So, but you can discharge as it's a lay auditor, or it's a leg that we haven't some in the past. And the rumors that we are doing secret things are not very nice. So that if we have a official lay auditor, maybe we can stop the rumors. So it's a good idea.
Certainly, it's a good idea to have someone to disclose all the secrets. Good then. Then it will be added to the agenda of the meeting as an official proposal from the board. And I would go for the next meeting, next point on the agenda, which is a negotiation with the Greens IFA group. There is a short report on that coming on the discussion, which is on line 148, which I think very much summarizes the conclusion that were also reached by the negotiation team within the group. So you might read that. From that point of view, we will probably need to adapt we will probably need to create a post-election strategy that doesn't rely on that doesn't mandatory prescribes the pirate membership within the Green group. Map, please.
Well, then I interpret that as post-election strategy should be added to the agenda of the meeting.
Yes, I guess the post-election strategy shall be added as an agenda for the meeting. I guess, if I'm not mistaken, we do not need to, and correct me if I'm wrong with the timeline, but do we need to have approved the post-election strategy here in this council meeting? I think we need to have it approved together with the election program, isn't it?
There's no rules for that. That's entirely up to the council or whatever the board suggests.
Certainly there are no rules, but from strategical point of view, it probably makes sense that we provide that for ratification together with the program, because we will ask the member parties to do the ratification. So I guess as we plan to have some council meeting in June was the day, online to actually have the election program approved by the PPEU, we should provide the post-electoral strategy at that council meeting, and therefore have it prepared in between by the board. Is it so?
That makes sense. Should it be added as a point of discussion then to give input to the board so they can use that discussion to prepare something for the following meeting? Does that make sense?
Yes, I think we should have it as, let's say, a point of discussion that could be point of discussion for the council. Cedric.
Yes, it seems that we really need to discuss that point during the council meeting. It's not board stuff, I think. So yes, we need to discuss on this. We need to provide this information about this discussion because some countries might have some ideas or problem with Green IFA. I don't think about the French. Sorry, see, I'm thinking about the French because we have a lot of problem with them. Each time they put us away from any discussion in France, and each time we want to do something, they said, "Oh, you are part of the group." So yes, we need to discuss this kind of thing because we are really upset of that. This is only maybe our point of view on that. So this is a big discussion we need to have on that, on our experience with them and so on. We need to have the point of view of the MEPs and so on. So yes, it will be a great discussion in the council meeting. So please add it. But we can't take decision on that right in the council meeting because again we will need to discuss back in our own parties. So June may be the right date to decide.
Yes. I mean, from the process point of view, the idea is that we will have a post-electoral strategy pre-agreed among the member parties, and this post-electoral strategy will actually define the limits for negotiation after the election. I think it is probably reasonable to define the limits in the sense that there would be, for example, written that pirates are never joining the far-right group, which is apparently obvious, but we can write it there. But there can be even more like statements of that type that, for example, some other groups besides the far right are not acceptable to us, or we have some particular like demands on the group we would like to join, and so on. So those things should be like recorded within the post-electoral strategy, and that post-electoral strategy should be ratified by the member parties, so that actually we ensure that it is after the election applied and pirates act as a coherent force. Therefore, in this council meeting, we should have a discussion about how the post-electoral strategy actually shall look like. The next board shall prepare it, and the post-electoral strategy shall be ratified by the online council meeting later this year, together with the proposal for draft proposal for the election program. So that's the idea how it should work. And let's have the debate on this point in the next in the council meeting. Okay, I would go to the next point on the agenda, which is updated draft agenda. Okay, Map, please.
Yes, I think when I originally wrote this, I thought all these decisions should be all compiled here, but we didn't do it that way, and that was probably me being vague on it. But with all these additions, you could either take the time to compile them and decide on a new agenda now, or you could decide to delegate to someone to update the agenda with these added points. Both of those decisions would make sense, I think. And then in previous years, there's been timestamps on the agenda, but you could decide whether you want to have, if you want, you can add those, or you can let that be up to the organizers to sort of schedule the day in following the agenda decided by the board.
Bastian?
Yeah, I think if I understand the map right, we can use a wiki. There we have timestamps there. You can exactly see who's changed something. So we use for that, we should use the wiki. So I think if somebody is willing to change something in the agenda for the meeting, he should use the wiki, and everybody can see what's happened. So and if there's something incorrect, you can easily roll it back. So I think that's easy to manage. And I also think that not a lot of people will try to change our agenda on the wiki.
Sorry, can I clarify? That was me being vague. No, I meant, do you want the board to decide that budget will take place, the decision on budget will take place at 11, and the election will take place at 3 o'clock, and membership fee will take place 3:15, and so on. Those timestamps I meant, like in the order of things.
Sorry,
will happen.
That was a misunderstanding. You're right.
Yeah, I think the question is clear. I would suggest following procedure. May I ask you, Map, would you maybe consolidate the points on the agenda we have added today into some proposal, including the timestamps, and we would actually check on it in the next board meeting. I mean, my idea would be that you already type into the Wikipedia what are the proposed like time frames for particular points, and we check on it next board meeting whether the board members are actually satisfied, and should there be like opposition to that proposal, we might adapt it in 2 weeks.
Well, I think, I mean, I don't mind doing it, but the agenda is supposed to be submitted a month before. And what you have submitted is the agenda that is currently on the wiki. So I don't know if the members will be happy if you then submit an updated agenda 2 weeks before the meeting that is very different from the agenda you submitted in line with the statutes. So I think you might want to do it quicker than that, but that's I can do it the way you propose. That's entirely up to you. I also added election of meeting chairs, election of minute takers, approval of the agenda. That should also be added to the agenda, I think.
I see your point. Yeah, you are right, Bastian.
Yeah. So the normal way to handle that is that you have the provisional agenda 1 month before the meeting, and if you not change very, very important points, then feel free to do that. Some days before the meeting. So I think the normal way is not less than 7 days before the meeting. So we are free to add some points and to correct some points before the meeting. But you have to inform your members. That's easy. They are on the mailing list, hopefully, and so that's easy. It's not written in stone. I think it's not the right expression. I think, but maybe you understand what I mean. That we have to stick to the invitation 1 month ago. So we have. It's normal that you have amendments to the agenda. So I don't have a problem with that. That we amend the agenda. So we discuss it today. It's an open meeting. Everybody can admit the meeting, and everybody can listen to the meeting because it's recorded. So if there are any problems, it's easy to explain your concerns. So it's easy. I won't care that we doing some wrong things.
I see. Yeah, you are right, and that will be also my understanding. So maybe as a possible compromise, we might move into we are sending tomorrow an information email anyway for our members, and therefore we need to or we could use it also to provide them an update on the provisional agenda, which will effectively consist of the points we have included into our proposal, while the exact timestamps and stuff like that can be clarified in the next board meeting. Does that make sense, Map?
That makes perfect sense, but you might want to send it on Friday if deadline for nominations is tomorrow, because then you would want to include all the nominations that came before the deadline.
I see. Well, then it does not work as a reminder for the nominations, but yes. Well, okay, then let's send it out on Friday, and yeah, let's include the provisional agenda, which will be like a list of points, while the exact timestamps we finalize in the next board meeting. And again, if you are not satisfied with the process and have any objection, don't forget to raise your hand and speak loudly. Yeah. Okay, next point on the agenda, we have streaming/remote participation. So, who is in charge of streaming and how we will facilitate remote participation of delegates, and who is in charge of managing of the remote participation? So that's a good question. Etienne?
I think it should be us, the French part, as we are handling the venue, and then the venue provide someone for the technique. So we are actually speaking about this and what we need exactly for the streaming, as we have the documents that Bastian sent us, and we are trying to translate it into technical specification. So to be short, that we will manage the streaming part, but we need to decide which platform we use. And that's the only thing that we need to decide tonight. And as regarding the question who is in charge of managing the remote participation, usually there is someone besides the chair that is handling the request for speaking and so on. So for the technical part, we have it. For the administrative part of the chairing of the meeting, we need to see.
Okay, next one on my speaking list is Map, and then Bastian.
Yes, I'm super happy that this is on your radar. I was worried that it would fall between chairs. That is why I added to the agenda. As soon as you have someone responsible, it would be good if I could get the name and email, because when I encourage people to participate in the meeting, some will say they want to participate remotely, and then it would be good if I already proactively could give them the contact and who they should contact, so they don't wait until they get the information, but that I can actively reach out to the person and say, hi, I'm going to be the delegate from this party. How do I do it? So as soon as you have someone that can be that point of contact, please give that information to me. That would be super helpful.
Perfect. Bastian? And you have switched off your mic.
I'm muted. So sorry. There's a difference between streaming and participating on the same platform, which we did on the last council meeting. Maybe you remember. It's fine that we have a platform where everybody can log in and can follow the meeting. Streaming is totally different from that. Streaming is broadcasting the content of that agenda to the public. And maybe I heard that the French pilots are looking for a streaming service, an idea. Maybe you have to pay money for that. The only thing I can offer, but I am quite sure that it's not wanted, that we have a big video conference server for doing things as Vico Button. You can manage more than 200 people on that, and we have a streaming server. The streaming server I'm talking about is a streaming server. You listening, or the nice people who are listening on the stream as for Pirates on Air, and you get maybe you can get a separate channel on that if you ask for, but I'm not sure that you won't ask for, but it's an offer for us. It's for free, nothing have to pay for that. That's just a question. Give me credentials for that, and then you get credentials for that, which we provide for every pirate movement essential we have in the world. So if you want to use it, you can use it. If you want your own streaming service, I don't care. Thank you.
Okay, I think that was pretty clear. So the respective context for people who have the access to the resources and will need them are kind of transferred. So I would consider the point on streaming to be finalized. And we may go to the next point on the agenda, which is the update from the organizers regarding the Pirate Weekend in Strasbourg 2023. So might someone from French Pirates actually inform us what's the situation? That's a bit pity. Is there anyone hearing me actually?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's a really item. Want to have some information because I think after I'm not quite sure, but after 13 years, I'm quite sure that my career in the PPU will end in Strasbourg. So it's maybe it's a good idea to know where we have a Pirate Weekend in Strasbourg. Otherwise, I will organize in Strasbourg my own party, but maybe we can combine it. Thank you.
Okay, maybe it would be better, considering the fact that it's almost half past 10, and we need to still go through some points to avoid the points or the comments that are actually kind of like harming each other's feelings, and just focus on the content. It would be much better, because exchange of let's say harsh comments would not help anybody. If I may ask you, Etienne, could you please update us? What is the situation in Strasbourg?
With pleasure. So the venue is officially booked. We will sign the contract really soon. So we have the full building for 2 days. We, as a PPEU, will have the exclusive use of part of the second level, which is called the Oasis. Very nice. Which is a modular place where you can have several islands for a small working group, and you can have a conference installation for a more classical way of working. So as we said previously, we have a stage manager for the both day that we pay, and that is used to work with. He used to manage conferences with remote speakers. So the live streaming won't be a problem. We will transfer your specification next week, and we have inside PPFR a stage manager that will handle all the technical part with the stage manager of the venue. Regarding the meal, we've stopped the price of the ticket at 15 euro per day per person. So the ticket will be on sale really soon. We decided to choose an Afghan restaurant to prepare the meal. So we will have several options, including a vegan option. And nevertheless, if people don't want to eat the proposed meal, there is plenty restaurant nearby the venue. We will provide the coffee, tea, and some small snack during the day. And we are preparing a small leaflet to explain which accommodation people can reach and how to come to the venue from the train station, from the airport, and from the road. So it will be ready soon. The translation was like I was managing the translation tonight. So I think that I've come around everything that we spoke about last night. Let me check. Yes, regarding PPEU, we needed confirmation of the two time of the weekend, but we speak about it earlier that we do the CEP on Saturday and the council meeting on Sunday. I will need as soon as possible three information, in fact. The first one is the number of working groups that we are supposed to host regarding the CEP, and what solution the PPEU would like to adopt regarding the organization of the day. And then we would like to have so the number of group, how we organize them, and the third thing is about at which time you would like to start the council meeting on the Sunday. And about the organization of the council meeting, we've booked a conference on Sunday morning regarding being an elected woman on the internet that will be taking place in English, and that will probably forbid some that might interest some people on the council meeting. So maybe we need to discuss the opportunity to include this on the agenda. And we will regarding the Saturday. Yes, we also booked one conference in English. If people are interested, and if people want to propose conferences or workshop in English, they are more than welcome if they want to participate. I think I come around everything. And I think that's it. Yeah, yes, that's it.
Yeah, thank you. I guess regarding one of your question, the exact timestamps for all the activities shall be provided during the next board meeting. Regarding the number of working groups, I think we will provide you some hints later when we come to the point 3 of this agenda.
It's just that I will leave like really soon because I need to get up early tomorrow, so I would like to go to bed. So if I can have this information tonight, it will be more practical for the organizational team. Please.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I guess all of us, we would like to actually leave earlier, so it would be great, and especially if we could stop like diverging into some, let's say, personal exchanges, which is really hard to hear also for all the other members, because the chat that is here is actually like available to, let's say, 16 people, and that's a bit like problematic. Please, could we just like focus on the topic and finalize what is needed to be finalized today? I have seen hand risen from Cedric and then from Map.
Map first, normally.
Sorry, I'm not really sure I can focus on the meeting because of the chat. So I might need to take a break because it's emotionally draining to read what's going on there right now. So I will reach out to the organizers for some questions I have. I think I'll have to take it there. Sorry.
You know how to reach me easily.
So, my turn. Yes, I understand that some people may be upset or a bit annoyed about the thing in the chat, but we need to understand that it's not a personal business right now. It seems that every time we need to have something, we have some people saying that we're speaking about rumors. We don't have some secret. We only think for my example, I speak about having some invoice and there is some secret. There is some rumors. No, just a thing to have to propose some budget in the future.
Cedric?
We have no.
Sorry for disturbing you, but it's 10:30. It's
Yes.
10:30. Does that
Yeah,
really make sense when there is 16 people literally sitting in this chat?
Yes, but we can't avoid
use
this
every
discussion
single
about
minute to discuss this particular issue. Does that make sense? Does it really help us to organize this meeting in Strasbourg we all want to organize? Is this really helpful for this organization?
We are insulted every time we come somewhere. Fleury was accused right now to destroy the period parties. So what the can we acknowledge this kind of behavior, saying that this is not about oh, you're not doing well your work. It's oh, you are here to destroy us. And we let him speak right now without saying that this is a problem.
I'm not really utterly convinced that it was absolutely necessary to start all the debates we had today in the way we have started them. But this is probably for everybody to actually think about whether it was really necessary to go so far. I see the problem, and honestly, I don't really know how to go farther on from this point, because we are not able to solve the issues we are supposed to be solved. We are just insulting each other. This is not the way forward.
Mikuláš, it's not true. Flory is not insulting Bastian. Flory is not saying to Bastian that Bastian will here to destroy the PPEU. The insults are one way tonight. We need to understand that. But by the way, I'm really feeling bad right now. My heart is pulsing at 180, and it's very exhausting. I understand mad exhaustion when seeing the chat. I completely understand how you feel, but how one people can say without any problem that someone else is here to destroy the PPEU. How it is possible?
Okay. I think it's not my right to actually expel board members from the board or from participating from the board, but I'm afraid and I'm allowed to actually stop the meeting. I don't think we are able to solve anything under these circumstances. I think there will be definitely a need for some sort of mediation. We should have Code of Conduct Council elected to actually be able to work on such a mediation, but apparently we have failed to deliver on that, so we will probably need to find a way how to mediate that in, let's say, other way, because we are currently unable to work. So it's now 22:36, and I'm officially ending this meeting. The continuation of the meeting will be discussed in the chat, and I would like to ask you to calm down, because this tone that is here is really like not possible to move. I mean, like, Flory, I read what you are writing to that chat, and I recognize that what was told to you was absolutely not nice, but we should not went to that point. No, that was not nice. Flory, please speak.
Not nice? Pardon? Are you serious, Nicolas? You're just not nice. It's not nice. It's some accusation. I'm not destroying the party, the Pirate Party movement. I'm not destroying the European movement. I just can't speak. I don't know if you just really. I am the only woman in the board. There is just one woman in the European board, and I just can't speak because when I speak, you have Bastian that always saying that I am destroying movement, that there is a plot theory that's circulating in their meetings. They are telling that we have problems in the French movement, that we are not pirate, that we are destroying the movement. It's not acceptable. It is.
Yes, it's
No, Bashir, I'm talking. Shut up.
Yeah,
It
fuck
is
you.
not
It's not
acceptable.
acceptable.
It is
You are
not
screaming. It's not
acceptable, Bashir. You are
acceptable.
your behavior is not acceptable.
Yeah, I'm a bitch. Yeah, you're a bitch too.
Oh,
So
pardon?
you do the same.
Nicolas,
You do what you're
can't just
doing
tell-
here.
you
Is the
can't-
same
you
you're
can't
doing in the PPI.
letting that
You're
happening.
destroying
It's
the
not
pirate
possible.
movement. Nothing else. Thank you for the fish. Bye.
The meeting is closed, and I strongly believe that what was said is
to man, where ships come home to die. No lofty peak, no fortress bold could match our captain's eye. We fired the gun and burned the mast and rowed from ship to shore. The captain cried, we sailors wept, our tears were tears of joy. sun.